things. Like right now,
Mm.
Democrats want candidates who are angry adjacent.
Yeah.
Are you trying to
Actually, not
segue
be
us
authentic.
into doing the podcast that we're here to do? Is that?
No, no, I'm always the one who takes us
She's
away.
not. And to that end, I am going to stop us so that I can do the intro.
And fun fact though too is that like, but no matter what, Jillian and I always circle
We
back.
always circle back to the thing. Welcome to Battleground Appalachia, Rural PA Dems Division. I'm Jillian.
I'm Lindsay.
And we're here to talk about the myths and realities of living and organizing in rural Pennsylvania and give you all the tea on why it's more progressive than you think. And today we're joined by Caleb McCoy.
Hi, I'm Caleb McCoy.
He is the candidate for the 79th District State House race. He was our special election candidate. And he is, you get to be the very first guest, in the chaos.
Oh,
So
that's
congrats.
awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome to the chaos. Um, so uh, as always, I think like the world is imploding and
Mhm.
exploding at the same time.
Mhm.
Um, I was informed. Now, this came up in our group chat with Dan, who is Lindsay's secretary for the Crawford
Mhm.
Dems. But
And about my state committeeman.
and your state committee member. But it was brought to me by actually my daughter. So my my 18-year-old daughter is the one that keeps me updated on many of the things that I'm not necessarily paying attention to because I'm so like very like focused on state and local. Apparently we're indicting James Comey again.
For
Oh.
like my crime.
For what?
For my crime.
For your crime.
Well, technically, he and I did the same thing.
Oh, that's right. Did you do the 8647 thing?
Yeah, well, somebody else was holding a guitar that had it emblazoned on the back at the
Yeah.
last, at the final, yeah, at the final, right before the election, rally.
Yeah.
And I was pictured very much smiling in it, and I thought it said 814 because it was very, very bright and
Oh,
reflective. But I was
yeah.
posing because they said if you want to keep the guitar, you can, and I was like, oh, well, I mean, thank you. And was talking about his veteran children and stuff, so we
Yeah.
were being respectful of his time and smiling, and it was very bright, and it was the shiny side, and there was an 8 there. My dog's a dick. There was a
Yeah.
4 there. The 7 kind of looked like a 1, and I'm from the 894 area code.
Yeah.
So what the fuck happened there?
We do love
But
our area code.
and it was a cute picture of me. So it ended up getting posted and shared, and then it got shared to 30 million people or something.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
So hold on. Now
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of this, so you'll have
Yeah.
to forgive my ignorance.
Hmm.
So okay, so they're indicting James Comey.
Yeah.
Now I know that it's in retaliation for him not liking the president. Because every time somebody doesn't like the president, it's a
Yeah.
crime.
They have to be indicted about something. Yeah.
So okay, but what is he being indicted for? Like I know he posted the
I'm
8647 or whatever. Like what's it? What's the?
There's
nominally, I think it's like threats to the
Yeah,
president,
yep,
which like
threatened the
if you're gonna
president.
indict James Comey about that, then there's like, boy, there's a lot of people.
Oh, okay, so it is in retaliation for him posting 8647.
Yeah.
It is also the crime. The crime is him posting
Yes.
86.
That's a threat.
So
That's a
actually,
threat.
they're making up that
Oh.
Todd Blanche is auditioning for Attorney General.
Yeah.
He's
Uh,
like Pam Bondi, but like somehow more spineless, but also man
apparently
enough
more
to.
thin-skinned too. My
No,
heavens.
Yeah.
no, he's not. He's deliberative. So like they know it's not. They know it's not a crime, but they're going to charge him with it anyway to waste Comey's money and intimidate other people
Yeah.
Well,
based off of a thing that was only on the internet for like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
And so like
And like
he's
how long ago at
pinning
this point?
9 months, 10.
Yeah.
So I hate, I'm gonna say it, Jillian, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad.
I wasn't mad. I just had to cut this part out because it could be misconstrued as a bit inflammatory. So, you know.
Because that is basically the trust of a leader. Is
Yeah.
that if you're gonna go charging up a goddamn hill and you're gonna light your sword on fire, you better have fucking people charging up that hill right behind you. And you probably shouldn't waste time looking behind you to make sure that they're there.
Yes.
And that is only from trust and
If Teddy Roosevelt taught us
getting up.
anything.
Teddy Roosevelt didn't have a flaming sword. I tell you guys are reading some weird fan fiction.
No, but listen,
No, it's
I
solid
don't
fan
think that,
fiction.
like, if Teddy Roosevelt could have had a flaming sword, you know he would have.
He would have killed
He,
every trust bet. He would have killed the trust leaders with it. Yeah.
He would have
he
killed
is he
literally,
is
he would have been
he's
like, just for shits and giggles. Yeah.
He would have
he's
been.
how we get teddy bears, but you know that the teddy bear was competently put together.
The teddy bear was competently put together. And this is the thing. The competence is the well, so like here's a because you brought it up.
Mm,
My daughter told me that the talking point right now from the administration is that the Secret Service agent who was hit by the buckshot, okay,
mhm.
was the first one to pull a gun on the guy. Now, I'm gonna admit right now what I think probably everybody knows without me saying it is that I have no experience with guns of any kind. But I do have experience a little bit with physics. But can you tell
And
me if you
it's
just
my
got hit in
understanding
the chest, basically point blank with buckshot, are
it's
either of you magically managing to pull a gun on a person?
um no, but I might have heard through a grapevine that dude tripped as he was running through, and it was kind of a more of an accidental.
I mean, I'm sure, like, and
Like
that's
dude
his
tripped, like
maybe.
the Secret Service didn't actually like
That
take
is
him
his
out.
maybe.
Like he tripped
Regardless, I'm
himself
so
when he was
sorry. I
running
don't
through
think
it.
that Secret Service agent was just like, boom, I got hit point blank with gunshot. Oh, I'm pulling a gun now.
Depends on how close he was, to be honest. And depends on the jacket he had on, and apparently the jacket did what he was supposed to do. But if it was also like actual buckshot, like I don't know, like you could be pretty if you're even a little bit farther away, you could actually get hit with it and like be you one
I
of the
mean, the force
scariest
is
movies to
distributed, so that's a difference
yeah,
between like the buckshot
for
and
sure.
like just a bullet.
So I don't know about you guys, but like my the scariest, and Caleb, maybe you'll get this because you are Caleb. I don't know. This is my first time meeting you, but I know about you. You are in the military or were in the military and a nurse. So I would like to say that the scariest movie that I actually have like PTSD dreams right after I watch is Pineapple Express
With the
because the
foot when he shoots
actual
the foot.
yeah, well, just the actual injuries of like and
Yeah.
how real fist fights go down are
Yeah. No,
sloppy and
that movie was
shitty,
very weirdly real. Yeah.
and how long you can last with like a small gut wound,
Oh yeah.
like and just be fine and go sit and eat breakfast. Like you can. Like there's some like there's certain things you can get hit with in the head and stay conscious, and you're like that person shouldn't be, and it's like well, and you get hit in the face with
Go
like
tell
a
them that.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But they
that's just it.
are.
Like, if your adrenaline's going and you're trying to get your drug situation on so you don't get killed by the you know by organized crime family members of mine in a fictional story,
Yeah.
um it's one of those things where it's just like no you can sustain quite a few injuries, and you're the fights are never as competent, and the things are never as clear cut as they appear on the television. Everything is much messier.
I would say I don't know exactly what I don't know what that guy was wearing. I don't know. I, I didn't get nitty-gritty on any of the
Mm.
details about it other than kind of a quick overview of what happened. But if it was some like the people that are like right by the president, they wear suits. They want to look like they're not security, right? So
Mm.
like if they're wearing something, if the people that are like around doing security, like the rest of the Secret Service team, like the guy did not, he made it like past the security checkpoint by like a matter of yards. Like he
Mhm.
ran at the security booth and did not make it past them. They got him to the ground. So
And
like
to
the
be
people
fair,
that
the
are out
security
there,
rooms were supposed to be way further away than they were. That's their
right.
bad. They wanted it closer.
Yeah.
Also, like that's okay if the theory is like, okay, we need more security. Do you though? Because he went to the first security check and didn't make it through it. So,
Right.
like, was there a security failure? Is there a need for more security? Did the security not work? It sounds like it worked exactly right. The guy had a gun, ran at the security, and was tackled to the ground. Am I missing something? Maybe I am. I don't, I didn't
Well,
deep dive it, but like,
And
it certainly
was he
seems like
tackled
everything
or
I
did
worked.
he
saw
trip?
that they weren't wanding people, which is crazy to me because
At like the foyer of
yeah,
the hotel.
like to go in,
Oh,
like
interesting.
because like I
Well, I
have
we don't get wanded that much though.
well no, but like
Maybe they were wanding at the
if you
checkpoint.
go to a like and not all of them, right? But
Mhm.
a presidential candidate level event,
Mhm.
where it is in any way in close quarters.
Mhm.
Like you gotta go through like a metal detector and shit.
Oh yeah.
At a bare minimum.
And there's five or
Um,
six people standing there watching you do it, and you're not allowed to
yes.
carry a bag.
Right,
You
but
gotta
And
show your
isn't that the
ID.
checkpoint that he tried to run through though? Was
that's the
the
one
I
he was trying to
guess
checkpoint
run
where
through.
they had the
maybe.
wanding
I
and
don't
stuff?
know.
I'm
And
under
that's the
the
thing, like they
impression,
moved it closer. It's my understanding that it was supposed to be like a level up and everything else, and they moved it in more.
Well, and so
okay.
So
that is the problem. Like it
yeah,
needed to be further away. I mean, like Jesus Christ, even if you go into like if I go to like a reception at the governor's mansion, right? Like
mhm. We were at
before
one in
we
January
were
together.
just at one the
Yeah.
a couple months ago. Before you even get inside the gates,
Yeah.
like you got to go through
Yeah, you're nowhere near
the
the
metal
rim.
detector. You got to like show them, take all your stuff out of your pockets, show them your ID. You have
Right.
to be on the list. Um, Now I don't know what happens if somebody like tries to like sprint full speed through that. I just
They
like
probably they probably get past it theoretically and then tackled to the ground.
Yeah, like I was like maybe they get past it, but I'm like I'm sorry. Does like the president have worse security than Josh Shapiro? Because like I am like having walked through that security, I feel very secure that those if somebody tried to run through that shit, I'm pretty sure those dudes will put him down fast. Um,
This guy tripped.
Well,
this guy tripped.
this is
This guy
Hey,
tripped.
and this is the reason I bring up
Yeah.
the different, so like the people that are around the president,
Mhm.
they try to dress like they're
Yeah.
not wearing bulletproof stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, in the
The
room they had undercover stuff on, yeah,
Yeah.
over top.
Yes, but outside of the room at the security
Yeah.
checkpoints and
Yeah.
like the other times we've seen
Yeah.
Secret Service folks out, they wear plated vests, like
Right. Yeah.
military style plate
Mhm.
vests.
Yes.
That stuff is solid plate. It doesn't really concave the way that you think of a bulletproof vest. Like
Correct.
Right.
it
It's very
shatters, especially
uncomfortable.
something like buckshot where it's going to be contained in a small area,
Yeah.
especially at point blank. Like it doesn't spread the
Yeah.
cone effect,
It doesn't
the
have that
video
much
game
time to
style
spread
cone
out,
effect.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be tight, but it is going to hit that vest and diffuse and like
Yeah.
it might crack the plates. But I actually wouldn't be surprised to see somebody
Yeah.
pull and draw from that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I
What are
don't.
you
I mean, I
talking?
think it would probably definitely. Well, I'm like, I'm one of those girls who look lighter than they are. So if I were to, you know, if you're trying to lift me, you might think
This
you
is a
could. You
bench,
cannot. I'm
is what
like,
you're trying to
yeah,
Dense,
say.
like
Yeah.
a neutron star.
Yes, dense like a neutron star.
yes, exactly. My kid is too, actually.
Exactly, she says.
He looks
Okay,
really
good.
thin.
Yes.
So like, I probably look like I'm 125, 130 most of the time, and I'm like nearly 160. I'm all shoulders and shoulders and hips
Yeah.
and technically hamstrings. So really good at the deadlift, right?
Love that. Okay.
So I can, and I'm only 5'5", but everybody says I look taller, but it's because I'm just very solid. So
Yeah.
I could see me taking like a really big hit, doing a stumble, and not being able to, as a
Mhm.
security professional, respond well because of
Yeah.
my height, but also because of my center of gravity, but also because I'm going to be underweight for like the force that's applied to me.
Hmm.
But a dude in his 40s, dude in his late 30s, it's probably going to be like, even if it's stinging a lot and hurts a lot, he might not even be taken off his feet, especially if he's near anything that's like a wall
Yeah.
or an arch,
Now
you know? You know?
here's a part that I found like that I was like utterly preposterous. So I don't even remember who it was apparently, but like somebody from the administration was answering questions on a news show and they were like, we hear that one agent fired 5 shots. And this guy's like, well, ballistics are complicated. And sometimes you just don't
They
find all the
missed.
bullets.
They missed 5 times.
Are they literal stormtroopers?
I mean,
Is what I'm
the
saying.
guy
The
lived, but do we
dude
know
was
that he was
fine.
injured?
Well, no, but
Dude,
here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, right? Okay, let's say you can't find all the slugs. Okay. You know what you can do is look at the guns that were fired and
How many
figure out
bullets? How
how
many
many
bullets?
bullets are
How many
missing.
bullets did you start with? How many do you have now?
yeah.
Um, like
They
There should be an answer on how many times the gun was discharged. I definitely agree with Claire.
feel very certain that there's probably some procedure, some protocol even around like, hey, if you have shot your gun, even fucking cops, excuse
when
me,
they go
I'll
out
rephrase that,
there,
even
when they
police
go,
officers,
they
after
have to
being
be
involved in a
certain.
Thank
shooting,
you.
They
um,
have to have, they have to have, or they're supposed to have.
yeah,
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
when
yeah.
you
There
get
is
outside of the
very
military, you
yeah,
don't need to be accountable to all 210 rounds, but um, everybody else does.
yeah,
Everybody that's not on high. And that was one thing that we always like talked about when we were doing like Caleb, you know more about this than I do. But I was technically a combat lifesaver medic when we were in Baghdad. And so we used to like hydrate each other because we'd have to do our sticks. We would just constantly like hydrate each other so we didn't have to drink water anymore because our throats were sore from drinking so
gross.
much water. And like on these cases that we would have at home, we would be like pop pop, like but in a tent.
I hate everything about this story. Go ahead, continue.
But
she says to a
however,
literal nurse.
yes, but we knew the biggest things were hydration, but the main things we were gonna have to deal with were cerebral spinal injuries that we had to ignore and move along. Smells like grapefruit, clear. And um also like sucking chest wounds and tension pneumothorax because we can't do anything about them. And like what to do and how to stab somebody through the intercostal space of their ribs, and just hopefully not make them die of infection because it's not going to happen immediately and make sure they
Fingers
get
crossed.
lifeline.
Yeah,
But
I was just about to
Fingers
say
crossed.
knock on wood. No
right.
secondary.
But like and
But that's
like,
a then problem. The
main
chest wound is a now
tourniquets,
problem.
stop the bleeding and move along, kind of a deal. But when we're doing these things, I'm just like, you know, but our especially our police bullets are they react differently to the human body than sometimes like a slug would because we don't really have them. Ours explode inside the body and cause massive catastrophic damage. And it's like ours are smaller, lightweight, and more easily shot with effectiveness.
Mhm.
And it's like, but also if someone was hit with something, like it was either easier to outright save them or not.
Yeah,
Um, versus ours. Ours. That shit's kind of like mini exploding inside you when it hits you.
that feels unfair.
Right. It was
I
it was
mean, which is like,
totally
I mean, it
right.
is like, when you're fighting in a war, that's not like,
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I joke around all the time. I'm like, listen, my vision, I am legally fucking blind. I had to wear the worst glasses ever. I've never shot. I had never shot before I was face down in the dirt in Leonardwood, Missouri. And I somehow, after 6 weeks, was able to shoot expert with pop-up Ivan targets, green from the snow. Pop, 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 pop.
You
Out 500 meters.
you were actually the perfect training candidate. It's
I just
it's
had
much
I had
harder.
no
It's
bad.
much harder to teach good old boys who Pap taught them how to shoot right. It's much harder to show them how to shoot right than it is somebody that's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Please tell me.
And that's the thing. Like, I
You had the
love
right
watching
attitude going in.
like I see my
Peepaw told me
kid
how to
and
kill a deer. You probably are a terrible shot on the range.
I see my kid and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, because we've got the little Nerf guns and stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm going to shoot it. I'm like, from where? It's stable base, sir.
Square
Stable
up.
base. Right here. Put it down. You want to hit what you're aiming at? Because you can't see it. So, I mean, like, at least give yourself like an ability to hit something. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, also, where is your hand? Like, are you going to put it there later or are you going to put it where it's supposed to be and make sure your fingertips are like this? And he's like, why are you like this? And I said, I don't know. It's just the few things they tell you, you remember. It's
I was face
breathing.
down in the dirt in Missouri.
Yep.
And I
Fort
had a
Leonard,
very
Missouri,
angry man
where,
yell this directly into my cerebellum, and now
yeah.
you have to hear it.
Face down in the dirt in Missouri, title of the episode. Just,
See,
just
and I was
calling it
going to
right
say
now.
that my alliterations are better than Hakeem Jeffries, but that was only if we were going to get into the states that did us dirty this week. And that was only if.
Oh. I'm I'm gonna hit the restroom, but like start getting into the states that did us dirty this week with Caleb, and I'll be right back.
Mm. Mm. I don't want to miss Caleb's casework, though, before we transition, should we?
I don't.
What? What's up?
Should I wait for you for transitioning into casework? Because if I don't hear about Caleb wanting to do casework and
Oh
my
no,
hang up
no,
I
go
have
for
with
it. You go for it. You go for it.
okay, I heard that you found out when you were like deciding to run that you actually got to pick up the fucking phone or answer it and like solve problems with people like in government. Like that you didn't know necessarily that casework was something that you could do.
Yeah, I actually like. I never really, growing up, I like we we were Rush Limbaugh family growing up. I was homeschooled. I literally
Mhm.
listened to hours of Rush Limbaugh every day growing up. Um, we never had um we never had any kind of respect or desire to have any kind of interaction with our local government. Like I remember, we were a politically minded family.
Mhm.
Um, I remember in 2000, like helping my mom. She really wanted to do like phone banking for George Bush, and like
Yeah.
so, like I remember I was babysitting the kids so that my mom could be doing some phone banking volunteer work and stuff. We had a neighbor who did volunteer work, but that was like national campaigns.
Yeah.
Locally, no interaction with the government whatsoever. We always just hated them. They would show up when we were working on houses and they would want us to have, permits. And my dad always hated that, and like that was my entire idea of local government is like those pain in the asses that we have to pay taxes to.
Mm.
Um, and as an adult, kind of had a more nuanced understanding than that, but I still had never like met a local politician. I never like went to city council meetings or anything like that. And so when I came back from doing travel work and was in Altoona, and I was like, this is awesome. I've been wanting to get involved. I want, start showing up at the meetings and going to places and meeting the folks that are involved in the local stuff going on. You know, I I actually somebody had told me I was at a meeting with Indivisible, um, and one of the ladies there was like, we were talking about upcoming elections and things that are going to be, the seat was going to be opening up in January, and one of the ladies there was like, "Well, you like talking to people, you should run." And I was like, I don't know what a local rep does. Like I don't know what a state rep does. I don't like what does, I've never really paid any attention to Pennsylvania level politics.
We
Um,
are actually the best level politics, just fun fact. I'm sure Jillian has taught you at this point. Like
I have,
how deep the fucking cookie goes for Pennsylvania goddamn fucking elections. It's nuts.
Yeah,
I actually have been
we're
really
undercooked.
impressed. Like it's been very eye-opening. But it really was like I went to my grandma's house a couple days later. I try to see her every week. And I I was down at her place and I was telling her like, "Oh yeah, I'm like thinking about running for office, like it's one of those things like somebody says something that you got that like ego in you that's like, "Oh, I could
Do
run
that?
for
Yeah,
office."
yeah.
And like I told her that like I'm thinking about this and she was like, "Oh, like what seat would it be?" I told her it would be Lou Schmidt's old seat, and my grandma, she goes like, "Oh, Lou Schmidt, I love him. He's marvelous." And I was,
This is such a grandma word, also.
it's well, especially like I
But
just
but
couldn't.
there's two things that are marvelous is to grandmothers, and it's like a politician who smiles at her and helps her with her freaking goddamn driver's license renewal
Yeah.
and her grandson. That's all the bitches got.
Those are the
That's
two.
it.
Yeah.
Like the gifts that my young man gets from human beings that aren't even his real grandmothers, but are just like stand-ins that like,
Hmm.
and their names might be Mona. Love you, Mona.
No.
Um, but yeah, and John's excited because they're from Philly and he can't wait to meet her. Um, Such a suck up. It makes me. But but yeah, it's like yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
they
So,
love you
but
forever.
your
Yeah.
question was like learning about like constituent services.
Yeah.
When she told me like I love a local politician, he's marvelous, I was dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Like what you love a local like what, and she was telling me about the stuff he did. Like whenever COVID hit around here, like the unemployment office, they just closed it. They were like,
Mhm.
oh, well, one, that's fewer unemployment cases, and two,
Right.
it's tough to staff an office right now. So,
Yeah.
man.
We don't
So
need that. We don't need those bad metrics.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the
Yeah.
Altoona just didn't have an unemployment office. So Lou Schmidt turned his
Oh,
office into
really?
the unofficial unemployment office for
Mhm.
Altoona. And there were so many people that needed help that he was getting phone calls from all over the state from
Hmm.
people.
Yeah.
And like my grandma, one of her tenants, she owns a few apartments around the city. One of her tenants needed unemployment help,
Hmm.
and he helped her out with that.
That's
And
amazing.
she needed help. She had this absolutely beat ass old truck for a while. It was very funny. Um, and she went to him to get like registration help with that.
Yeah.
She had issues a little while ago when the city did all the like reassessments of all the
Hmm.
properties. Ooh, they
Oh, it would
really
be nice if my county ever had
That was the
those.
county, but yes.
that went really sideways for her though, because she
Mm.
owns those apartment buildings
Yeah.
and they're all she takes great care of them. She's really involved with it. But like, yeah,
Mhm.
so she told me all these times she went to his office and how helpful he was and how good his staff was. And I was like, oh my God, there's a guy you can call.
The guy?
I have problems with my taxes last year. I was going crazy. There's a guy you can call. Like,
Hmm.
just kind of knowing that that was there and that this guy was doing that. And then I actually called him. Um, and like
He was
asked if
retiring. He
I
had no
could
reason
meet with
not to
him.
like keep doing the thing you like to do either.
I'm sorry, say again. I totally missed
Him
it.
helping you, if you called him, like him helping you, he's not running again, so probably
Yeah, I
didn't
No,
did.
and this
sign
is the
on.
thing. So like he's a judge now. And like
Ooh,
honestly, I was like I was my flabbers were gasted. That he was like, "Yeah, I'll sit down with you." I mean, now he also sat down with the Republican
hmm,
candidate because that's like he kind of has to, but like
right.
even so, you know.
Yeah, I talked to him about how he ran his local office and
Mhm.
stuff. It was weird to realize like there's this whole thing that a lot of people use and need and
Hmm.
is really helpful and is good for your community.
Yeah.
And me and like my family, all my brothers and sisters, my mom and dad, we had never engaged with it and had
Hmm.
nothing but disdain for it. That was a
Hmm.
really weird realization.
Hmm. Yeah, no. When I mean, like, and I will say, like,
And it extends to big stuff too, though.
it does. It
Because
does.
like I was on the way home and I was mad because Meadville used to have the city of Meadville, it's our county seat. So Crawford is smaller.
Yeah.
And Meadville, we are a very progressive city in the middle of not progressive nothing. Um, and we are the armpit of despair. But
A couple of my dear closest friends in the world grew up in Meadville, and
mm,
they would always talk smack on how bad the weather is there.
oh, it is.
You guys get less sun than Erie, more rain than Seattle.
We, we do because we are just far enough away from the Great Lakes where like whatever the weather is that's in the lake,
Yeah.
ours is like it'll change right at Edinburgh and it'll be shit. And so like we used to have two parking garages in the city. And then we had a one random ass, um, might have been frack related, I don't know. Earthquake that kind of actually messed up the one, and then it eventually got torn down like 10 years later because it was gonna fall on people. But like the city government had to sell it. And they couldn't do repairs. They didn't have financing for repairs. And they sold it for $1 because they didn't want, frankly, the negative shit for the fact that they were about to level it, spend a shit ton of money to just fucking level it. And basically have way less spots, have nothing downtown in that space where there was something that was tall for once. And I was bitching at Bizarro about it, and Ryan Bizarro, who is the House Policy Chair for the HDs
Yeah.
for the House Dems in the state, and he's like, there would never be a fucking parking garage falling down in Mill Creek in Erie. There would not in my district. And I was like, and I've been at this for a minute,
Yeah.
and I was like, motherfucker could have gotten us like could have fixed our parking garage. Brad Roy could have fucking fixed the part. Like we could have gotten funding to fix. And sure enough, I did a little Google search and I was like, oh look at one of those cities about our size on the eastern side of the state just got a $26 million brand new parking garage because their town needed one and they qualified for it because their state rep could
Yeah.
get that for the city. But Brad Roy doesn't give a fuck. He votes no on every funding issue and never brings home quote pork so that your
Yeah.
only city, your county seat, has fucking parking, you asshole.
Yeah,
Sorry.
th-
But that's the kind of bullshit like that you could go out and get
Yeah.
for your city that is different than just being in the office. You can go out and get or help coach your nonprofits and stuff about
Yeah.
what grants to ask for. Because our city officials, like we have a 5-0 hardcore progressive majority. We
Hmm.
have 3 women out of 5. 3 people are black out of 5, like in Crawford. But we have 70% renters. We have more than 50% of our all of our property taxes are like exempt because they're nonprofits technically.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, so we're just going to tax the shit out of the few middle class people that live in the city of Meadville. And we're going to not do a tax reassessment since 1970. I don't know the shit, but whatever the last and the only one that was required.
Hmm.
And so the city is eating dick like all day. And Brad does not care, and his district includes the city.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that whether you're an R or you're a D, don't you support the people that live in your fucking district? Apparently he does not.
Yeah.
well, that was
And that's
also
the kind of random like side story I want to bring into it and hit home with you because his peripety. His problems aren't just that he's like that hyper partisanship, but the fact that he's so probably lazy that he just doesn't want to do any work to help out even his Republicans because we're a 50-50 city. We're just better at winning elections.
Yeah.
I honestly, that sounds a lot to me like the issues we had with Lou Schmidt too, because he was locally was very good. Like this is the thing I would
Mhm.
emphasize is that like being the local guy you could call, he was amazing at that. I want to be as good at that as he was. You know,
Hmm.
like he showed up when people needed him. He ran a great office. He really genuinely gave a damn about that part of the job, and it showed.
Hmm.
My grandma benefited. I would want to do that like him. But when he went to
Mhm.
Harrisburg, he was just a straight ticket Republican. And worse than that, he never even bucked. He never asked. He never kicked. He never fought. And I got the distinct impression from talking to him that he felt like that was wrong to do. Like it's a bad thing to try to get funding for your area. Like that is somehow below your like he felt like that was something that was like that's a bad thing about politics. Like that bringing money into our area is a bad thing. Like I couldn't
Right.
quite I couldn't
It's like
quite
a
understand.
parking
It's a very
garage that's
libertarian
falling
mode of
down
thinking.
that your local renters can't afford in the tax revenue base. And you're just gonna like let it go down, let them like sell it away for $1
Wait,
when
so
you
here's
want to
the thing,
supposedly
like,
grow businesses? Like, bro,
well, this is like this is the thing that like the children, if you will, don't know. And not just the children, but many
the
adults,
grandparent children.
the grandparent children. Um, yeah, uh,
The children
is
with children who have children.
so like for example, right? Like when, and this is a weird connection, but it gets there, I promise. When Artemis was gonna splash down, right? They were picked up by the USS John Murtha. John Murtha, longtime congressman from Cambria County. Um, John Murtha, who has now passed, God rest his soul,
Him.
uh,
Everything.
often known as the King of Pork.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling my daughter about that, and she laughed because she did not. She was like, "What?" And I was like, "Okay, so until
Pork
2011."
is. Mm-hmm.
In the federal
Yeah.
government, in the federal government, until 2011, there was a thing called pork barrel spending, which was essentially and it's like some people will remember like the bridge to nowhere in Alaska, and that's like an
Bribery,
example.
like
What
bribery adjacent,
it, yeah, but
depending on
but
its utilization.
But so here's the thing, right? It's just like, so, okay, I have a bill that I want you to vote for. You don't want to vote for it.
Mhm.
But what if I threw in a couple $1 million for this project in your district? Would you
Through
vote for
hospital.
it then? And then the answer is yes, of course I would vote for it then. And so that's what happened. And, you know, there are people, and genuinely, it's when the pork is coming to your district, that's fine. It's only when the
Fine.
pork is going to other people's districts that then people were like, "Oh, that's not okay. That's bad." And it's
Or
like,
when
no,
the
it's good.
bridges in
That's good.
Pittsburgh
Um,
or around Pittsburgh that
right.
fell down, it's really good if Joe Biden shows up, but
Uh, and so
you
just like so, like you'd get like that is how bipartisan legislation happened.
hmm
I think that the confusion that happens is that
Yeah.
it's a political tool,
Yeah.
just
hmm
like many other political tools.
Hmm.
It is not in and of itself good or bad.
No.
It is
Right.
what do you
It's
accomplish
abuse,
with it?
What do
so
you accomplish with it? Yes.
Are you bribing people and building bridges to nowhere?
Yeah.
Or are you creating the infrastructure that allows for people and businesses to thrive in
Well,
America?
that,
Like
like, here's the other
and I
thing.
would
It's
even
like,
be,
I
yeah,
don't give a
I would
fuck.
even. I was
Actually,
even
I don't
worse
give a
about
fuck
it.
if you build a bridge to nowhere, like in Alaska, particularly, right? Because like it's Alaska, but like
Right. Yay
Everywhere
those
is
building and
nowhere.
trades.
everywhere is
Yay those
nowhere.
union
I
jobs.
am so sorry, the people of
No,
Alaska,
no,
but
no.
yes, there is nowhere in
I'm
Alaska.
sorry.
But union jobs,
Yeah,
building and trade,
but it's
building and
jobs,
trade,
right?
union
Yes, it's
jobs.
jobs. For the
It's middle
duration
class
of
income
that, it's
jobs. Mhm.
jobs. And like people have to upkeep that bridge, that's
Mhm.
jobs. Whatever, right? Like it's these
Lots of
projects,
pricey.
by and large, create jobs. And
Mhm.
then as a byproduct, hopefully, they improve infrastructure generally.
Mhm.
And those are like actually all good things. If your representative was too lazy to get on board with that, that's not my problem. You should probably elect better people who give a shit about you. But
It's
like,
not wild too. Like you're also leaving money on the table for other reps to get for their districts that you're
yeah.
just ignoring, and you're basically skull fucking yourself on it.
Oh no, absolutely. And I mean like genuinely like the we live
I feel
in
bad. Did
the
we
what is now
warn
the
them?
13th congressional district. It used to be the ninth. When it was the ninth, we had Bud before Bill Schuster. We had Bud Schuster. Bud Schuster also absolutely on the pork train. We have Bud Schuster to thank for Route 99.
Hmm.
That was his
Mhm.
pet project.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
I-99 has been a boon out here. That's
As a
99 has been
segue, did
great.
you ever warn Caleb, poor innocent Caleb,
Yeah,
who is even despite his facial hair, he's at least 10 years my junior, that
yeah,
I was going to use really harsh language.
yeah.
Did we warn him? Okay, just making sure.
Don't
Because
waterboard
sometimes
him
my
or
language
anything.
is, I mean, you never know. I mean, because I did say skullfuck earlier, so I just
You
wanted to
did say
make sure.
skull fuck earlier.
I was also in the military. My dad was a prison guard.
I
His
know,
dad's the
but
Um,
prison guard.
I don't.
my
I'm
cousin
sorry.
Skull fuck is
my
gonna
cousin
pay him.
is,
Are you under
I've
the
got another
impression
cousin.
that
Yeah.
I have another cousin I've got a cousin who's a guard in New York State. Mm.
Mm.
And they had some issues with getting people to work because whatevs. But also, I have a cousin who is also always on the ADT orders,
Mm.
as active Army National Guard,
that's the good
maybe
shit?
short story.
Nice. Got this state
Well, he's
job with
doing it
the
because his
ongoing
actual
pay
day
and ADT
job.
orders.
Yeah, but his
That's
real
that payola.
well but he's the guy everybody likes.
Okay.
Everybody loves him. He's a combatives instructor. He's a colonel now. But he's also his day job is supposed to be when he's not on orders. And this was from the hurricane that hit Puerto Rico.
No.
Um, he's he's been ice since then.
Oh, interesting.
But since then, because he was Border Patrol and he was promoted through investigative units, and like I said, dudes love him. It's
Mm.
very angry. I get very angry about it because we're the same age and we're the same efficacy, and but people love him, and it's fine. But happy promotions for everybody.
No,
But
actually, can
yeah,
I
so if he
just
could just make people like him to go on temporary, permanent
yeah.
ADT orders to avoid his job because his wife is Puerto Rican.
Mm.
And he has been on them for going on 8.5 years. And they just keep
I was gonna say
just keep
you can do that for like 10, 12 years sometimes. That's
yep.
awesome. Good
And
for him.
he is a LTC
I
and he does the minimum, and and he just doesn't have to do the job anymore. He doesn't have to do it, and he doesn't have to go to DC, and he hasn't for at least 6 years. Since he's had to be in DC, and it's like when you're loved, honey bear. Hmm.
Mm.
yeah.
And so like I hate to say it, but those kinds of love, that kind of administrative love
Yeah.
would never happen to a person like myself. However, I might be trying to teach the ginger over there
Yeah.
the more gentle persuasion that sometimes other people are capable of being. because
Well, so
I can
this
bond.
actually, so this brings me to this, which I wanted to talk about specifically because I don't remember, I don't know if you saw the video or not, but like, so yesterday I did a TikTok where like I'm like just doom scrolling as I want to do, and I come across this young woman's video where she's not saying anything, she's just like looking, if I'm very honest, smug while audio is happening, and the audio is a man talking about how the most powerful woman in the room is usually the most quiet. And I was like, excuse me, excuse me. Um, and like he goes on and on and on, right? And it's just like, listen, I'm like, I love that for you, quiet girly. If you think that like that's a thing, okay, sure. But here's the
That's
thing.
their own self-referential fan club. You know that, right?
Yes. Now, here's the
And they're
thing too,
usually
is just
ugly
like,
buddies.
yes, as a woman, you can get to a point where you don't have to be, and I'm quoting here, loud and aggressive all the time. Um, but like, if you get to the point where you get to be quiet, where like that is allowed, you can still maintain your ability to like have sway and also not have to fucking talk, right? That is preceded by years of being the loudest, most aggressive fucking person on the
Or
planet.
the most cutthroat op ever.
Or the most cutthroat op ever, and sometimes combo, but like, and like, yes, perhaps you've seen women that like are quiet and powerful and like, but like you don't see the behind the scenes because in the behind the scenes stuff, they're not fucking, I'm here to tell you they're not quiet.
Well,
um
they throw things at people.
they do, but
There might be a
Lindsay
crack in the
does.
skin.
Lindsay throws things. But like,
Like a stapler at a staff member?
No,
no, a phone. She throws her phone.
phone.
She
My
specifically
phone is
throws her phone.
Pixel, and it is
She throws it in the
absolutely.
direction of, she doesn't throw it
It's
at people.
so-
She throws it in the direction. Yeah.
Wait, I more like frisbee it at their feet
Yeah.
because it's bulletproof glass, and I frisbee it at their feet because I'm so pissed off at either what's happening there or them, and I don't hit them. I'm very good at throwing, and I
Yeah.
just kind of toss
Yeah.
aggressively. But
Uh, but
but
yeah.
so like my
But like,
my
also,
dad.
wait, no, here's the thing though.
Oh yeah.
This dude was very specific, the most powerful woman. What's the most powerful man doing?
Probably,
I ask.
probably also
Is
sitting.
he loud and aggressive? You wouldn't call it that.
I bet he's sitting in a corner praying quietly.
Probably. Yeah.
My dad told me explicitly sometime around my age of 14,
Hmm.
15. He's like, Lindsay, you have a problem. And I was like, okay, sure. But my dad, like, I just got like a random message from some guy in Virginia, actually, who was like, I used to work for your dad. And yeah, my dad was like the Eastern Continental manager of Halliburton back when like Dick Cheney was around,
Mm. Yeah.
for oil and gas. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm ex-Republican, and but he told me very early on, in high school, he's like, you have to make a decision. And I was like, what the fuck is it? What's that? And he goes, you can try really hard and be the smartest person in the room all the time and tell people that, or you need to start playing dumb and be as pretty as you are, and then like just make sure that people underestimate you all the time, and then just move life that way and go for wealthier men. And I was like, what? But
Yeah.
this was like back when like the perceived thing that millennial women were taught
Yeah.
was that they actually could do stuff. And that
Right.
that shit was over.
Allegedly.
And then
Yeah.
like you just like go over and like join a war, and they're like, "Oh, just kidding." And it's like, "Nope, nope, nope, nope. No. That's not oh. So, I had to learn at the age of like 35 how to pretend I'm dumb a little bit.
Hmm.
But that at the same time, have conversations that were really valuable with certain people's chief of staff.
Yeah.
And then when I'm like, we need to have a conversation, and they're like, we don't need, I'm like, we need to have a conversation in public, but where also people aren't gonna just be nosy.
Yeah.
So I can tell you something that you need to hear, that you need to do something about because this is a problem. And they're like, oh, she's serious. Okay. So we go somewhere where it's very obvious that we are sitting around having a beverage with everyone.
Hmm.
And it's nothing more than it looks like I'm flirting. But
Hmm.
I am giving a very short class on what water authorities do and how fast you can make people not approve bad permits.
Some of the sexiest things that you could possibly talk about.
And their face doesn't change. We both got a little bit of whiskey,
Hmm.
you know, and we're just talking, and I look dumb,
Hmm.
or I look this, you know, or I
Yeah.
look like super like whatever. But meanwhile, I'm like, listen, you need to go talk to your lawyers about like real quick what a water authority does because it's the lowest level of incorporation in all of the state of Pennsylvania, and it's the only thing that cannot be overrun by the governor, and it's appointed. So this is what it has with effects with people in places that don't have zoning.
Yeah.
And he's like, he got the faraway stare, like, oh, that's
The
actually
brain
a thing.
hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, and then immediately he's like just hands between his knees and he's texting and he's just like, we need to fucking call people because this is like a thing for the day after tomorrow. And then a 12-page paper comes out, and sure enough, I might be on page 6. Not directly quoted, but there I am.
Yeah.
But it's like also the art eventually in politics of knowing the person you're supposed to talk to when you know the answer to something and you can
Hmm.
fix it, and how to reach out to them because sometimes it's so much that people around you actually do know the answer, but as an elected, you don't get access to the answers. My
Yeah.
dog's a dick. He's old. He's blind. He's a pug. But then yeah, I'm over here playing like I'm dumb as shit and trying to be flirty and unsuccessful at it. But I don't care because why? We have really good letters going to the federal government about water authorities
It's true.
and about why people can't expand things that used to be big lots into places that are like prisons.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, I have seen you successfully be flirty.
Oh, wow. You got sometimes it lands accidentally better than I meant. Sometimes
New
I'm like,
York Society 2025.
you need to read The Evil Glint,
Or
and
no,
if you didn't
24.
get
New York
you
Society
don't
24.
yeah, if you don't see The Evil Glint,
Yeah.
or you don't realize that I only want the invitation for manufacturer's business breakfast just so I can dog walk you when I get there, it's not my problem.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Or if you're from PNC and you're Pittsburgh, you should.
Yeah.
The number I gave you was dead then. It's dead now.
Yeah.
Gotta let me kill my dog. Second.
Yeah.
Well, this is something that I can't really
Hmm.
relate a whole lot to. I've
Yeah.
spent all of my adult professional life, like I dropped out of college my first time around
Hmm.
and came back home and got my CNA.
Hmm.
I worked as a CNA while I went to nursing school. I've spent my entire adult life and career
Hmm.
working in healthcare,
Yeah.
which is a female-dominated field.
Yeah.
And I've seen the sexism active in the way that it like constantly elevates my voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very weird to walk into a room where I'm the least qualified person and
Hmm.
everyone wants to talk to me first.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like it's been great for my career.
For sure.
It's given
Yeah.
me a very easy way,
Yeah.
the process of stepping into management roles has
Yeah.
I literally my first job out of school was as a supervisor.
Right.
But at the
But
same
people
time,
love good
um,
leadership too.
Yeah.
I do
Women,
think
women that know that they're not going to eventually get the leadership, love good leadership. They find it very quickly and also help you from the baseline of who to elevate. If it
Yeah,
can't be
no, that's
them, then
so
they'd
true.
rather it be you.
Yeah.
And as the oldest of seven, like my dad was always very like, you're a leader. You need to take, and like I've
Hmm.
always felt that. I've always felt very called towards that, and I'm comfortable with it. I always kind of figured I would find my way into it in whatever career I went into. But it has like the structures you're describing, where
Hmm.
like there is the immediate dismissive sexism. Like the sexism that I see is, like it's kind of either hidden or immediately laughed about by everybody
Right.
involved. Like
Yeah.
I I can't really relate to that kind of experience where like it's ingrained and nobody acknowledges it and nobody sees it. Like that's so weird.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's like being sneaky at being good at stuff. Sucks.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like you can be good at stuff, but you do have to be like a little sneaky about it. I'm not very good at being sneaky about being good at things. When I'm good at something, I'm just like good at it. And like if you don't want to take advantage of that, I guess that's your fucking problem. Um, 'cause, like that's
idiot.
more of a you problem than a me problem.
Absolutely.
Um,
And it should be. But sometimes
yeah.
it's a tool in the toolbox
Oh
because
no,
I
absolutely. Like there is absolutely always a moment, even for me, like there's always a moment where I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that." Or like not exactly like that. I
That
would
was a crazy.
never
I
heard it. Is
haven't
that weird
I
for
haven't
you?
known you long enough. I've never seen the giggle. That's a very funny.
I could pull that out at any moment.
You got it.
When so
If you didn't
like
love it, you leave.
I think one of the things, so like in Caleb's campaign, one of the things that he's working on right now, and you can tell them about this, you can tell Lindsay about this, as sort of our wrap up as we move into the evening,
Yeah.
is you've been talking to folks about affordability
Yeah.
in
Well,
like a nonpartisan way.
yeah, it's been cool. So there's you are probably familiar with this group. Lindsay, I know you are Pennsylvania United.
Yeah.
I
Um,
am.
which I believe
I
is
am
like,
an OG member.
oh wow, that's cool.
They have PA United up in Erie. Yeah.
I was gonna say I know they're Pittsburgh based and like Western Pennsylvania
Yeah.
broadly. Um,
So,
are you
little
guys
quick
working
aside
on?
on PA United because I'm gonna shrill their praises so much.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they've been
They
great.
initially instigated prior to 2020, but in Western PI, where stand up like Lancaster and stuff were happening in Eastern PA, and it was
Mhm.
for mainly um, just swing counties,
Yeah.
and they hired organizers.
Yeah.
But for us, we had turned our city council, and I was a still Republican
Yeah.
for like 6 years. And I had helped in that effort since 2016. And I connected the PA United leadership with my local running for office. And frankly, not anything specifically directly to do with the county committee, but I was tasked to do my best at the state party stuff
Yeah.
because like people we needed to we the messaging needed to change and people need to be able to be brought in.
Yeah.
But they had their own base core of registered independents and Democrats that frankly flipped our local city council and all of the council and supervisor members. And in every single ABC committee, every single ABC committee, how we run public housing, how we run like the hockey rink is the local candidates, volunteers in election cycles and off year elections They are sitting ABC board members. They
And then,
are walking their committees.
like, that's the
And they are
key.
all PA United
Yeah.
members because
And
they gave
so,
us the
yeah.
structure where the state party could not.
Well, and I mean, if I may, for a moment,
Mhm.
it's not the state party's job.
Correct.
Nor is
Well,
it your
that's
county party's job. Your county party and state party's job is to elect people, period. End of story.
yeah.
But this, I think this is like a really great like collab between like a campaign and that. So
Mhm.
you're doing like a survey on affordability with folks in the area. How's that going?
It's been cool. So we created like a survey that's more specifically tailored to Blair County, right?
Mhm.
And we put together a survey, and we have got a day coming up on May 17th. We're going to be having a get together, a little cookout. And the goal is to have as many people as we can in the area that are having a hard time making ends meet, and the dollar just isn't stretching the way we need it to. And
Yeah.
so we're asking as many people in the area as we can to, take our survey, tell us what is kind of causing the most problems for them. Like what are the pinch points? Is it
Mhm.
medical bills? Is it the cost of housing? Is it food? Is it, gas? Is it car payments? Like what are the things that are kind of tripping people up the most? And then we're having a cookout. I'm gonna borrow my brother's grill. We're gonna do some like hamburgers and hot dogs, and just get some folks together for some fellowship. Similar problems.
Good.
What are the solutions? What can we be trying to get our lawmakers to do about it? And we're going to take the results from our survey and the results from our conversations at the cookout, and we are going to be heading down to Harrisburg with that information in hand and talking to lawmakers. And our goal is to kind of combine forces with Pennsylvania United chapters from around the state and also some other working groups that Pennsylvania United is partnering with. And they are calling it the Invest in Us campaign. And then
Mhm.
the day down in Harrisburg is Tax a Billionaire Day, is what they're calling it. And the goal is to kind of request reform of our tax system and to push and to make sure that the voices around here are being heard because, people are having a bad time. People are having a hard time. What are
Yeah.
you doing about it?
Yeah.
And if you can't give a clear answer to what you are doing to help people in this city, then the people in this city deserve to hear that.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we went
Right.
and we asked, what are they doing to help you? And their answer was,
Yeah.
and
Never
so
seen it.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited. And, my from day
Can you give
one,
me a question? Can you give me a, because I'm such a nerd. I'm so sorry.
oh, you're good.
But if you get a chance to, if you can give some feedback on the questionnaire, if it's not too late for like the metrics on how you make it, um, can you separate two questions for me? Saying which of these economic issues could or will break your family? Which of these economic issues do you notice the most often? Because what I think is going to happen is we're going to see very clearly that people very much understand that they might not be imposed to have the healthcare issue or the lack of healthcare issue happen immediately, but they are aware and it's lurking, and that's a family devastating event
Hmm.
versus like I am fucking miserable because groceries and gas are up and I'm noticing it every day.
Yeah.
Because if you just can separate the two questions,
No,
the
that's a really good point. Yeah.
it
I
will
think
really help.
the way that we worded it on the survey, and unfortunately
Mhm.
we're about 2 weeks into the
Ah,
surveying process, so it's a little too late to change the wording. The
might be
way
able
that
to
we
add a
have it
question.
worded
Yeah.
is actually, I believe on 1 to 5 scale,
Hmm.
how often do you think about this? I
Yeah.
believe is the way that it's worded. Like, is this an everyday concern?
Hmm.
Is this a once a week? Is this a keep you up at night? I believe
Yeah.
that that's the way that we have it worded. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I, I very
Not to be a
deeply,
nerd, but like later on when people do reflect and like we gather the information, like in post hoc election, we need to see what happened
Yeah.
so that we can better predict.
When I think there's also
So,
like an opportunity for like other places to start doing it.
yes,
Uh,
especially like when
yeah.
I talk about the pitfalls and the things that we did when we took over council, when
Mm-hmm.
we had the majority vote and where we found opportunity
Mm-hmm.
and where we found failure because we didn't realize that like we had to also take over the ABC committees, the
Mm.
volunteer committees, and we needed our volunteers that were just knocking doors for our candidates to sit on committees like housing so that we had votes so that we could terminate the employment of someone who was in league with the landlords that were the worst in our city.
Mm-hmm.
And she they should have kind of figured it out probably slightly before that because she was in a county adjacent, but she didn't have a bad employment record and they
Yeah.
hired her. But like city councils can only hire people, like they're not full-time staff.
Yeah.
And the manager was on his way out and they hired this new person for the public housing manager. And if you're running on a platform of rental registration and safety inspections because you don't want people to burn alive in their homes while
Mm,
they're
yeah.
falling down around them,
I always find that's nice.
yeah, you
Seems like the kind
can't
of thing most
also
people would
run
do.
a bed bug ridden public housing
Yeah.
city adjacent, but we couldn't fire the manager.
Yeah.
We had to weed out and forced quit and frankly bully into quitting a whole bunch of corporate landlords that were sitting on that committee on purpose. And we didn't even know that we had, like, we flipped council
Yeah.
and we're like, what the fuck? What is the problem here? Like, we want it fixed. They want it fixed.
There's so
We,
many small
it's
things.
small
Like
governmental insanities.
the pieces, the number of things that most people don't know about government are like innumerable, and I think that I the
Always.
like
As
and
elected
frankly, like when
need to
I
reach
tell
out.
people when they ask me things about like politics or government, and it will always be prefaced by this is a really stupid question, but, and I'm like, it's not a stupid question. Um,
Mm-mm.
like I've like it is rare for somebody to ask me a question that I haven't heard before.
Mhm.
And frankly, that is the most exciting thing that I get when somebody asks me a question that I haven't heard before, and I'm like,
You get to
ooh,
research it and
I
get to
never
find
thought
out.
about
You get to be like,
that.
what happened at that
But
committee meeting?
like nobody has thought about that. And like, and I point out to people all the time, it's just like I have been doing this for a longish time now. Even I learn new things literally every day. Um,
Every cycle, when we're like, we have
every
elections every
cycle
six
is a new
months.
cycle. You're gonna learn new things, and it's like I'm just like I'm really
We're
excited that there
learning
are these
about,
opportunities, right,
yeah,
where we can find a way to talk to people in a way that feels
what if
non
you,
that is nonpartisan, that feels non-political to them, even though, as we all know, everything is
Everything's political.
political. Um, like literally the air you breathe and the water you drink, it's all political. Sorry. Um, thank
so I
capitalism
have,
for that one. But
I have a thing to add to that too. Also, like,
yeah,
it's like, I hate to say it, but a lot of times I'm like, you know, you don't think it's related, but knowing what your biggest unit of government is that's appointed and knowing what happens when your county doesn't have an elected up
yeah.
and what the process is.
Hmm.
To make sure that certain people don't get appointed to things because the county commissioners have decided because no one ran and it's open and it can be everything from like where your kid plays hockey to like where the free daycare is
Yeah.
because it's a public park. Like it can be fucking so much shit and they might have a personal vendetta because frankly, I've got a county commissioner I know that owns a private EMS service.
That's right.
And then I might have
Her county
slightly
commissioner
helped.
owns the private what it was the only
It was
EMS
the
service
only.
in Crawford County was owned by one of their county commissioners.
Oh, um,
Isn't that pretty?
that seems like it has the potential to be conflict of
An ethics
interest.
violation?
Yeah, right?
But it would, except for the fact that if you can't have demonstrative proof, then the accuser is actually fined 3 times the amount as the max of the accused. It's
That
$12,000 versus three.
Yeah.
sounds about right.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds
And
that
it's
tracks.
it's not a judge, it's like 12 buddies
Yeah.
that get to decide that. So that was why I did not feel about that then. But you know what I did instead? And this is what, Caleb, I want you to find nerds that are going to pretend to be dumb and be part of your administration when you win.
They're not allowed to pretend to be dumb around me.
No, not
Okay,
around
not on
you.
you, but around sometimes other public officials.
Yes.
That sounds fine.
So what I did
Yeah.
is I took a class on our lovely Pennsylvania new mayor's budgeting class, and it was
Lindsay, by the
8
way,
hours.
knows about the weirdest classes you can take for free or cheap.
I can't
80
even,
She took a
bucks.
class on budgeting for mayors.
I can't even seem to make it into the Zoom meetings I'm scheduled for.
Yeah.
Ignore the ones you're scheduled for and drop into all of the best ones. That's your
A
mistake.
little bit true,
You're,
yes.
This
you're accepting invites.
this
Yeah.
strikes me as you describing like a crippling side effect of ADHD as a superpower.
You are correct.
Lindsay, he's got us.
It is the circumventing of the system that makes the system weak. We can't help
Yes.
it. We just exploit its weaknesses, so we have to do less work.
That's true.
No, I just love the idea of like I don't go to the meetings I have to, but I do go to the meetings I'm not intended to take, and I meet the neatest people there. It's a very ADHD.
Yes. And so I show up to this meeting. I swear to fucking God. And I turn my camera on and no one else does. They're all elected brand new mayors. And everybody paid 80 bucks and it's required. It's not required you say shit. It's just required you go. But I also paid. But they let you as a person just pay and then show up. And I was like, I have questions. No one's going to ask questions. And it was just me and the dude, me and the trainer. Everyone's else, cameras off. And I was like, so I have this question about municipal retirements and like this grant. And I said, I have a question about like this constant like drain on the resources for this. And we went through because he had me. No, bitch was not done. Bitch was scheduled for 9 to 4. And if no one else turned their goddamn fucking camera on, I was like, we are going to all together in a group. I'm not going to say masturbate to the city of Meadville's fucking entire budget, but you have a chance to interrupt this.
Yeah, you could stop this if you wanted to, but you're not.
And I paid, and I'm not. He goes, which city are you the new mayor of? And I said, they let me pay the fee. And he goes, are you an activist? I'm like, I'm a registered Republican that just became a new fucking Democratic chair, and I'm now on executive committee for 2 state party caucuses. No. And he goes, are you here to ruin me? I'm like, not intentionally. And he goes,
Not on purpose, but we'll see how you do.
I said, honestly, like, if we're gonna stick to the budget and stick to the math and like stick to the defining the terms, I'm a nerd, promise. Despite this, and like, I have questions. And he goes, is anyone else gonna the whole day have questions? And they never turn the cameras on. There was like 10, 20 fucking mayors there. And I was the one that did and shared my screen. And I was like, all right. I paid $80. And we
Somebody,
got every single municipal employee that's full time in the city, we bought their retirements back. We were able
oh,
to
great.
bill for $660,000 a year that we could never bill for fire safety. And now we are co-policing. And so we're not paying the full cost of police as the city. We're co-policing adjacent communities so that they can have a Chipotle. And
They wanted a Chipotle, but they couldn't have a Chipotle unless they had 24-hour police services.
Nice.
correct.
Yeah.
And so rather than them have to like, try to pimp the state, the state
Yeah. State police.
the staties, they just paid us to reticulate and we gave them a good price because we're poor and we're cheap. And but all of our people, like our cops, our local cops are making at least 55K plus. They all got their retirements back as municipal employees because we're actually able to blow like build city staff up rather than just like firefighters because that was what kept happening. And if the county commissioner in his private business lost money because he could no longer take people six, blocks away when we had people who were dying on the street 17 minutes away from our hospital. Well, now our fire department can do it for them, and they're the first responders. And maybe the ambulance is ranked number two, and now they don't get paid. And now they're maybe in the negative $500,000 a year. And that's fine to me.
Poor guy.
Oh no.
So, and before that, I'm not saying I'm vengeful. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. I'm not
She is
vengeful.
vengeful.
So I am a caretaker also. I work with
Yes.
people, adults with intellectual disabilities. And somebody had to go into a nursing home during COVID. And our county commissioners decided with a 2-to-1 majority that they were going to sell our local county home because, as a nurse, when you sell it, it's not the county home anymore. The regulations are less expensive, and also the union nursing staff. Yeah. And so, somebody who I was a legal power of attorney to once she was out of my care, she died there
When when did they sell?
after,
When did they
huh?
sell? When
What
did they
year?
sell this home?
2 years, a little bit less,
Like
maybe
2020, 2021?
2020. Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
No shit. I
Hmm.
applied to become the director of nursing there
Crawford
whenever
County Care Center.
after they sold it because it was in crisis.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Yep.
there was a wing that was being staffed by the National Guard.
Hmm.
Jesus Christ, my
Yeah.
cross.
There was it was like a full-on crisis. I was in the process of applying for new jobs. I hadn't gotten my travel job yet. And actually through the Pennsylvania Directors of Nursing Association, that job had been listed, and I had at least a 2 hour interview with like seven people that were on a committee. It was awful. It was the craziest job interview. I left that job. I left that interview like I pray to God they don't offer me that job.
Well, and that's the thing because like what happened was they ended up selling a county home, which has if you look at the state legislation on this, like it's got a this much higher standard than these corporate hedge funds. But
Yeah.
as a knowledgeable douchebag of what reimbursement rates are for Medicare and Medicaid, because he owns the motherfucking private, ambulance service, He's sitting here saying, well, the reimbursement rates are just not good enough for the county and the county can't. I'm like, bitch, you had people who lived in this county their whole fucking lives. And they sold their fucking homes and reverse mortgages and shit. And they're living in the county fucking home, and you're gonna sell the county fucking home because the county can't afford
Well,
like the level of
the
need
government's
you
job
have.
is to be a business, right? Right?
Right,
Right.
That's
yeah.
why we as a
Right.
society
Why
have
can't we
government
run
is
it
so
more
that
like a
it can be a
business?
business,
Yeah,
And
right?
I
But think
got
of the
I got the
profit
Friday phone
margins.
call.
yeah,
And I got the Friday phone call where the county commissioners sold that nursing home, the county home, off. And my response was public. And I said, so you sold the old people who lived in our county their whole lives and trusted the fucking county home off to die for hedge funds because you're a bitch about the bills.
that's it
Because they
right
have no
there.
other place to fucking go. You sold old people into pay for pay, like pay for play slavery. Like they can't leave. What
Yeah.
did you think they were gonna fucking do?
No, and well,
Where are they gonna go?
that happened in Blair County in 2014 is when our county home was sold. And it went from a 4 or 5 star facility to like a 1 star facility that like was
Right.
behind on their bills
And
almost
they just changed
immediately.
the
That was one of the
ownership
first picket
LLC.
lines that I stood on was with the union workers at what was at the time Valley View.
And
Um,
that's one of the things is like once you know it and you see it, you're like, no, I'm gonna wreck you forever. Because
yeah.
these people own stuff. These people are running for office. And I'm like they own the fucking ambulance company. They used their private knowledge of Medicare reimbursements to convince like other commissioners to sell off their old people in their own homes. And I'm like, nah. So when I saw the opportunity when he was trying to get our city that was progressive to raise rates, I was like, the fuck you are. And I waited 5 years for the opportunity. I did. I was like, listen, the city can do this business of transporting city people to the city hospital better and cheaper than you.
Yeah.
And we pay them 60K and they got their retirements back. And we're not in the negative. And then we are a hardcore progressive, 70% red in our city. We doing the tweet. We're doing what we can to survive over here.
Yeah.
We're doing what we can. And I'm over here like smart people that just like frankly, like we have some of the smartest people involved in our campaigns. And it's like, fuck, just stay involved. Just pick an ABC
We do,
committee.
and like we need more. And I think like
Like
I'm
smart
seeing
people just
people involved
dig
in
in.
Caleb's campaign that I haven't seen involved before, and I love it, and I
Mhm.
want more of that.
Spread the wealth and spread the smarts
Yeah.
because frankly, so many people don't know how government works the right way. Jillian and I, unfortunately, are so burned out sometimes. We can't tell you how it works the right way. We're just like, fuck, just go over there.
Yeah,
See that
no, like
thing?
yeah, no, that's like I can tell you how it works, and then you gotta do the next stuff. But like I can tell you the how it works part.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
But we do crazy shit. I mean, we do know crazy shit. It's just like we are so sometimes boggled by we're over here like, I don't know. Are we professionals yet, Jillian?
I mean, I get paid to do this, so yes.
Well, I, ma'am, I don't.
Ma'am.
I know. I strongly consider you a professional in this, whether you get paid or not, because I've had a lot of years of not being paid where I was a professional anyway.
I
They-
feel the need to jump back for just a sec too,
Yes.
Yeah,
because this
please.
I
And
feel
all
like
the questions, by the way.
I
And
feel like
by the way,
I'm gonna
If
wake
if
up in a
Jillian
cold.
is whatever, if you've got a quasi question, anytime,
I
feel free.
feel like I'm gonna wake up in a cold sweat if I don't ask this. I genuinely I hope that regardless of all your efforts, I hope that nowhere is the Meadville damp somehow interacting with an active Chipotle. Is this didn't actually happen, did it? I really
Did you
No, it
get the
did.
Chipotle?
Yeah, we got it.
Oh no. Oh
Oh
no.
no.
We
Oh
got
boy.
27. But we got
Oh,
a TJ Maxx.
we need
We got a
listen,
five and below.
there's
Oh,
too
you got a
much
Five Below.
there's too much E. coli for Meadville.
It's not okay.
Meadville is
We
too
actually
damp
have
for
a
that much E. coli
semi-decent
to be
water
being shipped
authority.
in. You're going to
Hmm.
kill us all.
Well,
Although, frankly, if that's how we all go, is that Meadville got a coli and then it spreads to the rest of, you know what? Fine. That's fine. I prefer aliens or zombies, but I guess if that's what it
sure.
has to be.
I'm pretty sure that the entire reference of hydrofracking
Yeah.
for oil and gas is in a 10-person direct circle from me.
We'll probably, what, I mean, like, listen, last weekend, and I am gonna bring us into the end after this, and
No fucking way.
I
We're
Waterfall on
will
it.
stop this. But like, listen, last weekend, Lindsay and I were in Lancaster and for to do a training, and Lindsay texts me almost immediately upon getting into Lancaster, and she's like, "It's too clean here." I thought she meant the hotel. And I was like, well, I think it's like newer. And she was like, no, everything. Everything is too clean here. And I was like, oh, I think it's all the rich people. And also, like, they don't have mountains here. I think but
I was
you
like, where's
mentioned
the acid rain?
well, no, you mentioned to the trainees that you were like, well, we have like all this acid runoff and stuff. And so it's just like etched into the rock of
Yeah,
where we live.
yeah.
Everything's a little dirty.
So
Everything's orange, and you don't lean on things because
70 was cut through acid rock so that I-99 could be tarped over correctly.
That's correct. That is right.
and so my
You're all awash in acid so that Port Matilda can look beautiful year round. Thank
That's
you.
so
right.
I
Yeah.
so
appreciate you all.
do you remember when hydrofracking started?
That word doesn't mean anything to me. I didn't know hydrofracking was different than regular fracking. I thought it
Yeah.
was all referring to
Well,
the same thing.
Yeah.
it is the same now, I
Yeah.
think. But so my dad, right before I got deployed, like right after he saw my graduation, we did invasion number 2, and I'm
Yep.
like 19. He goes,
Invasion of
I have to
Iraq
go.
2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, I gotta go to Tennessee, and I was like, what the fuck, oil and gas, goddamn well is there? He goes, nope, nope, and I was like, what the fuck? Are you are you reversing? Are you? I was so mad because
Do
I
you
was
have a
so
second
I
family
hate.
in Tennessee?
No, 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 no. I'm so mad about my oil and gas contacts. Like
Yeah.
I get with my mafia contacts,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, are I'm over here deployed. Like I'm in fucking Fallujah
You're going to
twice.
an oil war.
I am literally 19 years old. And I'm
Yeah.
in Fallujah twice. And I'm saying Jessica Lynch isn't you. Because I can read a GPS on my Nokia phone because I'm not a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, I'm gonna go to Tennessee. I'm like, for what? And he goes, well, I'm the Western Continental Manager of Halliburton Services. Why wouldn't I? I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna choke you to death on your own dick. What the fuck are you talking about? He's like,
That's my girl.
we have to reverse pump some cement into fuel rod stuff in Tennessee. I'm like, fuel rod leaking, government contracts you. Fuel rod leaking government contracts you, Tennessee mountains. I fucking hate you. God fuck you. You know? And I'm like 19, sat phone, Fallujah 2.
Face
General
down in the dirt
Conway
in
saw me
Fallujah.
Face
having
down the
a
dirt in Fallujah.
goddamn fucking sweeper on a helipad because I was in so much trouble because I don't shut the fuck up. And I'm like, I hate you. Like, I hate you. I do. This is so stupid. And why am I here? What is this? Why are we here? And it's so dumb. And he's like, they're paying me money. It was like $500,000 a year to pump some fucking cement to make sure our spent fuel rods weren't going to leak into Tennessee and Kentucky. While I,
Doing
this
great.
19-year-old kid, was like just over there chilling, being a 3 adjacent Cheney. And I was like,
In summary,
in
we're
summary,
all
that's half
doing
up.
great.
We're doing so well.
We're doing so well.
We're
Listen,
like hitting that trauma fucking Beltane, like
we're the Olympic trauma team.
dude, we are.
Let you know that we are recording so late tonight.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's 11:30. So I am gonna say thank you very much to Caleb for joining us.
Thank you, Katie.
And
Absolutely.
thanks to you all for listening. I have been Jillian, and she's been Lindsay.
Been Lindsay.
Yeah.
That was Caleb.
And that was Caleb. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. So don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Blue Sky at PA Dems Rural Caucus. You can listen on Spotify and YouTube or wherever. Don't forget to like us and subscribe and check out our website at pademsruralcaucus.com. Keep it rural. Yay!
Keep it rural.
We did it, and I remember the thing.
You did, and we ended it good.